Civic Math, New York, Part 2. The Financial Gamble of New York's Founders. By 1776, supporting independence in New York was dangerous. British troops were nearby, Loyalists were everywhere. Trade could collapse, property could be confiscated, and yet some of New York's wealthiest men still signed the Declaration of Independence. Why? Because they believed the risk was worth it. Let's take a closer look. In section 1, let's look at Loyalists versus Patriots. Estimated political figures for 1776 states that Patriots were about 40 to 45% of the population. The Loyalists were about 15 to 20%. Neutrals or undecided were about 35 to 45% of the population. Unlike some colonies, New York was deeply divided. Many people supported independence, yet many supported Britain, and many others simply hoped to survive. Now, if nearly half of the population was uncertain or loyal to Britain, how confident would you feel signing the Declaration of Independence? The revolution in New York was never guaranteed. Next, in section 2, let's look at New York City and loyalist strength. During much of the Revolutionary War, New York City became a major British stronghold. Large numbers of loyalists concentrated in the city, but British troops occupied the area for years. Britain did not see New York as lost territory. They believed New York could be held and controlled. In section 3, let's focus on some key political figures of the era. One of them is Philip Livingston. Philip Livingston was a merchant, landowner. He had strong Atlantic trade connections. He had enormous financial exposure to British Atlantic trade. If trade collapsed, wealth would disappear quickly. If Britain won the war, people like Livingston risked losing property, losing business, losing political influence, and most importantly, being killed. These were not symbolic risks, these were financial calculations. Next, in section 4, let's take a look at another political figure of the time in New York by the name of Francis Lewis. Francis Lewis, um, during the war, had his property destructed. His wife was captured by the British. His family experienced real hardship. For Francis, though, the revolution became really personal. Signing the declaration for him was not just symbolic. For many like him, the cost was really painful. In section 5, let's take a closer look at another political figure of the time by the name of Lewis Morris. Lewis Morris came from a powerful and influential family. Of course, he was wealthy, he had political influence, and he had large estate. Why would somebody already wealthy risk treason charges against the British Empire? Supporting independence could mean execution, property seizure, or financial ruin. Next, in section 6, let's take a look at another political figure of the time by the name of William Floyd. William Floyd lived in Long Island. Now, Long Island, as we know, uh, geographically is exposed to British movement, military movement. The British advance was very close to his place. The British threat was immediate. For William Floyd, the danger was not theoretical, it was geographical reality. In New York, the revolution was not inevitable. The colony was heavily divided. The risks were enormous. The British were very powerful in New York, and yet these men still signed the Declaration of Independence, not because victory was guaranteed, but because they believed some principles were worth mathematical uncertainty. Thank you for watching Civic Math with Skitami Learning. If you do like this video, please subscribe, like, comment, and share it with one person. We'll see you next time.